So we're gonna do 100% tutorial, and today we're going to do part 1 of this series. So I guess we'll just we'll get started. Before we get into this, I just want to preface and say it's a couple years old now, but I have a general movement tutorial that I would highly recommend you start off with watching that if you haven't seen it, or at least if you're new to the game, I would highly recommend watching that before you jump in. The other thing that I'm going to say is that for this first part of the run, basically 100% is the same as any percent is the same as everything else, right? And so I am going to go over each room and just kind of talk about the strats that I use in these rooms and maybe a couple of alternatives. But there's honestly not a whole lot to cover in this first section. So today we're going to cover from landing on planet Zebes on the ship. We're going to go from here until the green brinstar elevator. And I'm going to try and do, a segment for each stream, or at least a couple times a week until we get through the whole run. Of course, you're welcome to tune in and watch these live, but if you miss any of these segments, I do plan on eventually editing them, streamlining them, and uploading them to YouTube the same way that I did with PRKD and RBO. So, will this be as extensive as KRPD? I assume you mean PRKD, and yeah, my intention is for it to cover not every viable strat necessarily, because especially in 100%, that just, you're going to go down the rabbit hole, right? But I want to cover the most advanced strats and then some, fast alternatives that are easier but still fast if possible. Unfortunately, it's a lot harder to do that for 100% because, like I said, it's just such a wide spread of how many different ways you can do things. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best, and hopefully it helps you guys out. So, so yeah, with that, we'll get going. So obviously, you land on the planet. You're like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Just wander around to the left here, do some arm pumps, shoot the door. Okay, you can just shoot at the bottom here. That'll open the door for you. Don't arm pump down the ship, or you might fall off like that. Same with down these. Arm pumping down slopes is bad, so shoot through the door. Alright. Pumping up slopes is actually a really good thing. Slopes inherently slow Samus down, just in case you didn't know that. I think she gets like a 0.75 speed multiplier on slopes, something like that. So yeah, pumping on upward slopes is actually really good. It's a lot more helpful than, well, I don't know, maybe not a lot more helpful, but it is more helpful pumping up slopes than it is on flat ground. So definitely worth it to arm pump up slopes. You want to do a hop into this hole. I usually hop right around the top, right there. Hop. And then, depending on whether you're using Moonfall or not, there are a couple different things you can do here. So, once you land down onto this platform, you can do Moonfall. You just hold right until you're kind of passing this area between kind of these right here, and then you want to actually go left, unless, I guess this is something else I should say. Once you reach this platform, you have two options. I don't actually remember how to do this, so okay, yeah. So you can go off the right side down there. That is a bit easier, and that's what a lot of people opt to do, just like that. But either way, you're going to have to do a down back. Now, again, I do cover a lot of this stuff in the general movement tutorial, but I'll just talk about that really quickly. A down back is when Samus is in a falling state, and you hold down and push back. It actually pushes her forward. So if you look in the top left, you can see my inputs. I'm holding down and pushing left, but she's moving to the right. Same if you push down and push right, she's going to move to the left. That only happens in a falling state, like I said. So you can't do this out of a jump. She'll just turn around. But if she's falling off of a platform, or if you morph and unmorph, which I can't show at the moment because we don't have morph ball, then that also puts her in a falling state. So either way, when you land on this platform down here, you're going to need to do a down back. So you can go off the right side like that, or the faster strat is you want to kind of land to the left. Okay, so you want to land on the left side of the platform here, and then down back to the right. You want to shoot as you're passing this, so kind of to the right of this platform, and then you'll want to do another down back to the left. It's kind of difficult. It's something that I actually struggled with for a long time. To do a double down back, basically what you need to do is you need to release down while you're still holding the direction, right? And then once Samus has turned around, then you want to repress down and push the opposite direction. So it's definitely not easy, and as a beginner I would recommend that you go off the right side because that's a lot easier. But the faster strat is to go off the left side, like I said. Like that, okay? Once you land on in this room, there's a couple different ways you can do this moonfall. So you can moonfall immediately, okay? And kind of weave through these platforms. Basically, you want to be spinning. You want to pass this one to the right, and then immediately move to the left, and then back to the right again, like that. Okay. It might be worth practicing not in moonfall, so you can kind of get used to where you want to weave. But if you decide you don't want to weave through these platforms, you can also just spend a little bit of extra time moonwalking to the far right side of the platform up here and doing a moonfall there. The important thing when moonfalling down this room is that you aim down here. That is what actually prevents you from landing on this platform right here. You need to be in the aim down pose. Okay? And then we shoot so that we can open the door. But what happens if you bonk? Well, you can still moonfall from these lower platforms, but notice how we didn't clip through there? So there are a couple things that you can do. You can stay in spin. Oops. Problem with staying in spin is then you can't open the door preemptively. Or you can do one down turn, like that. And yeah, that will also get you through. Yeah, so you end up in the ground, you just want to do a little hop up. But if you do it from the top, Samus isn't going to be in the ground when you land. Alright? Of course, if you're not moonfalling, basically what you want to do is count these platforms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move to the left. After the 6th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, left. Like that. Okay? That's it, as far as I know, for the climb going down. For the pit room, you want to jump pretty much as late as possible right here. That will save you the most amount of frames. And then also you want to make sure that you're getting kind of a long running jump across these platforms, as far as going as fast as you can. Basically, Samus moves faster when she's running than she does in the air. So you want to maximize run time as opposed to jump time in this room in order to save those frames. But of course, actually making these jumps is a lot more important. So if you find, you know, that you're trying to go fast and that's causing you to fall, definitely just try to focus on not falling. That should be your priority for sure. Because a 433 compared to a 423 is a lot more. You want a 433 over like a 528 or a 6+ or something, right? If you do happen to fall, this is a good opportunity to practice down grabbing. So that's another thing that I think I go over in the general movement. But you know, as far as what a down grab is, it's where when you're jumping, you aim down to kind of grab onto a ledge like this. It just lets Samus get on a ledge a little bit earlier than she would otherwise. See, if you don't aim down, then she takes... Basically, she has to jump higher before she can get up. But if you do aim down, you can get onto a platform. So if you happen to fall here, that's actually a really good opportunity to practice a down grab, okay? And then instead of doing a jump onto the next platform in that situation like that, my recommendation would be to do a gap skip, which is where you run off of a ledge and then aim down to clear a gap. Okay? So, oh no, I fell. Down grab, gap skip, jump across. Hopefully that makes sense. I do normally do like a couple pumps entering this room, but I don't know if that actually makes a significant difference. Is it worth it at all to gap skip this whole room? I wouldn't recommend gap skipping the whole room. I wouldn't say that it's a terrible strat, necessarily. It's a 454. So you lose about 20 to 30 frames doing that. It's definitely... Gap skipping the whole room is definitely worse than just doing loose jumps. We'll say that. And the loose jumps, like, they're hard when you first start playing this game, but eventually, like, this room just becomes kind of second nature. So, yeah. And then, of course, yeah, I didn't mention this. You want to open the door with a shot before you get to the end. Alright, stop on a dime by holding an angle on the elevator and go down. Thank you. I did really enjoy SGDQ. Feel like it went very well. Alright, jump over to the left. You want to jump all the way. Come on, dude. Jump all the way up. Do a ledge grab. And then, if possible, you just want to tap jump here to do kind of a short hop. That will let you land on this platform. If you just run off, you're going to miss it. You can also do a down back, and that will get you onto this platform, but it's slower than just doing a short hop like that. And then, if you really are looking for the optimal strat here, it's best to do a wall jump check. Like that. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Just in case you don't know what a wall jump check is, when Samus is turning away from a wall, she goes into this position. You can use that to activate doors or items earlier, because it makes her hitbox basically extend toward whatever the wall is. And in this case, that would be the Morph ball. So, even though she's still facing left, she's grabbing it early because I pushed right. So notice that she's facing right, even though I wasn't holding right out of the fanfare there. All right. Pretty basic room. Once you grab the Morph ball, you want to do a wall jump off the pillar. And, come on, dude. Angle down. Shoot this block out. It is best to shoot it out from up here. And then run off and morph. And roll through the tunnel. I cannot do this wall jump correctly tonight for some reason. Okay. Do a little short hop into a ledge grab up onto this platform right here. Run across, pump, shoot. I've never really come up with a cue for this, but a good place to shoot is probably on these 4 distinguished blocks here. Probably like right there, last 2. And that will open the door for you. If you do happen to miss this shot, it's not a big deal. Just crouch and shoot it out, and then roll through. You'll lose some frames, but, you know. And then, if you're doing the optimal strat for this room, you'll want to jump through the door. Like so. That was a little bit too low. You don't want to be super high, but you don't want to be too low either. Or it will mess up your positioning for the next room. That's pretty good, right there. Alright, so there's a couple different ways to do this room. Optimally, what you want to do, you want to land with an angle down, and then you want to crouch immediately. After crouching, you want to shoot. That will shoot out these 2 blocks here on the left. Then you want to morph. Roll to the right. Unmorph. You want to unmorph kind of close to these blocks, kind of at least in the middle. Basically, you already want to be touching this block right here. Right here. When you get into your down back, which is what you're going to do. You want to shoot immediately while down backing, which will allow Samus to move forward through this block. And then you want to shoot again to shoot out the second block so that she continues moving forward. It's kind of, this is one of the harder things to learn when you're first starting the game, to be quite honest. But it's not as tight of a window as you would think. You can shoot pretty fast, or you can shoot kind of slow. The important thing is just that you want to make sure that Samus doesn't land. So. And yes, we will be going through the whole game, but not all tonight, obviously, because This tutorial is probably going to be upwards of 20 hours, maybe upwards of 30 hours, I don't know. I don't have it scripted or anything like that, so strap in. Alright, there's a couple of alternatives here. So, if you're not going to be doing the down back, you actually don't want to jump through the door. You want to open the door, do a ledge grab, and run through. Alright? And then you want to jump up here. You want to shoot as you're running over to the right. I missed the shot because I don't do this strat, but I think this is what Behemoth does, and there are other runners that do it as well, like I believe Kip does this. Basically, you want to shoot so that you break out these two blocks. Is it those two? And then you want to... Oh, that was kind of weird. Something like that. Yep. You just want to go straight down from there. Morph. You go through the door. It will be a multi-part on YouTube, yes. Okay, so shoot those out, down back. You want to morph. You want this to be a soft morph, meaning you don't want to bounce, because bouncing is bad. If you bounce, basically Samus isn't able to start rolling with optimal speed as quickly. So you want to soft morph right here. Roll over to the left, unmorph, shoot as soon as you're able to unmorph. Shoot, run through. Okay. As you run through this door, you want to hold shoot and dash. And keep holding left. That will send Samus straight into the missile. If you want to save some frames, you can start turning early. Depending on how much run speed you have, the queue for this will change. If you have maximum run speed, you want to do it as she is passing right here. That will get you a setup where she is turned almost completely around. So facing forward is almost optimal, and then this setup right here where she's actually almost facing right. That's the best turn setup that you can get. From there, you can just hold shoot and right. You don't want to hold shoot the entire time here, by the way. So you want to release it, turn, hold shoot out of the fanfare, which will automatically open this door, and then do a mock ball. It is best to do a short hop mock ball here. If you're struggling with short hop mock balls, again, I recommend referencing my general movement tutorial since it goes over that sort of thing. But of course, if you're not to the point where you're comfortable with short hop mock balls yet, you can also just run to the right, morph. You can morph after the door too. In fact, if you're not going to be mock balling, it's probably best to... Well, you don't want to bonk the door, that's bad, so... Yeah. Morph and run through. Alright. After the mock ball... So here's an interesting thing. If you switch from holding right to holding left without any frames in between, Samus actually does this weird thing where she slingshots as a ball. So notice I'm pushing left right here, but sometimes, in fact most of the time, she's actually rolling all the way over to the right. That is going to lose you frames, so it's actually better to just release right for a very brief period of time, and then basically you want to roll left so that Samus is facing left before you unmorph, because there's no turnaround animation in a morph ball. Okay, so you want to release right, turn left, still in a ball, unmorph, and then jump up. optimally what you want to do here is a crouch jump down grab. You can also do this facing right and then turning around. It's just that kind of complicates the inputs a little bit. But some people find that easier to do than turning in Morph. But yeah, optimally you want to do a crouch jump down grab. The reason I specify crouch jump is because Samus actually jumps higher out of a crouch than she does out of a standing position. So that's how high we go from a crouch. And if we're standing, we don't go quite as high. See how her head kind of clears the top of those blocks there on the left? But if we're just standing, she doesn't quite clear it. I think it's like an extra 8 pixels up or something. So crouch jump will actually get us where we can do a down grab here a little bit earlier. What I used to recommend was a spin jump ledge grab. That is a bit easier than the crouch jump, and honestly it's almost as fast. So definitely nothing wrong with maining that instead of the crouch jump down grab. And then what you want to do is basically you want to do a spin jump and ledge grab on the left side of this block. You can also do an up grab, which is essentially the same as a ledge grab, except you're using up to do it. You want to shoot from the left side, and that will automatically hit all of those blocks. See that? And then from there, you want to do a jump morph. So you jump and push down twice to morph. And then you hold left to get up into the hole and out on the left side. Okay? Optimally, you basically want to jump and shoot at the same time here. And a really good room time for this is 249 or better. If you manage to get a 249 out of this, you know that you're not necessarily like OMG perfect task level or whatever, but like if you get a 249 out of this, you can definitely call that good. Honestly, anything less than a 3-second room is also very, very good, so just keep that in mind. And now I can't even freaking do it. Okay. Alright, so arm pumps. You can jump straight onto the elevator here, or you can do a little ledge grab. I think, if I remember correctly, just landing on the elevator is fastest. The thing is, if you're not fully on the elevator, whether or not the elevator acts or activates is up to the collision oscillator. So sometimes you'll see people halfway on the elevator and they do this thing. So we're not actually touching the elevator right now, but yeah, sometimes you'll see that, like that, right there. The only way to avoid that is to be completely on the elevator, which is actually a little bit slower than if you're able to optimally grab it like that. So it's really up to you how safe you want to be with that. Just, if you push up and it doesn't activate and you know that you're at least partially on the elevator, that's why, and basically just keep pressing up. This room, gonna go over a couple different strats. Personally, what I do is I hold left and dash, I do a little stutter, and then I keep running forward. That's technically slightly suboptimal compared to, I believe, just holding left, shooting, and then pushing dash. But the stutter makes the setup for this next room easier for me. Okay. So you want to hold shoot through this door. That will automatically kill that first pirate. and you can then jump across the gap, like that. After jumping, you can turn around and immediately kill this guy. You can also kill the guy on the left first, like that, if you want to. The downside to killing the guy on the left first is that you can't do the deboost strat. The deboost strat is really hard. So what I see a lot of people opt to do is this sort of thing. Okay, and they jump across like this. There's nothing wrong with doing the strat that way, okay? Alternatively, you can stop here and shoot up like that. This is what I did for a long time. I found it easier than doing the jump through. That's almost as fast. But it does make this first jump kind of awkward, because you don't have as much run speed. The optimal strat here, what you want to do is you want to shoot this first guy, turn around and kill that guy. And then you want to turn around and shoot this guy. That will give him enough time to get a shot off, like that, and then you can actually use that shot to do a deboost across the gap. Another reference to my general movement tutorial, a deboost, is where you take damage while holding jump, and then you push backwards to move in the direction that you want to go. So, if you're not familiar with deboosts, again, refer to general movement. I think I talk about deboosts in there. I should probably watch that video since it's a couple years old and identify gaps and make a new one. After, the important thing about this deboost, you don't want to be too high when you do it, or it will actually kind of screw the boost up so that Samus doesn't quite make the distance that you need and will fall short. Like that. So you want to be kind of lower and further left if possible, and that will allow her to get all the way across and land on this platform right here. Once you land there, you want to kill the pirate that's waiting for you, and then you want to do a quick gap skip. Okay. Gap skip. And then you just want to keep running forward. Jump, shoot, jump. There we go. Okay, and then you want to land on this corner here, and then you want to do a wall jump check into the next room. Alright, so let's say that you fall, right? Oh no, I fell. That kind of sucks, but you can definitely compensate for it. So generally what I do in that situation is I'll do a down grab, basically. You'll still have iframes, so you can just do a down grab, shoot that guy, and then do a gap skip. Try and do that again. Or you shoot him after you go for the gap skip. That's right. So after the down grab, as you're running left, you shoot. You can do a gap skip there, and then the rest of the room is the same after that. And failing it and recovering that way is just as good as doing this strat. Which is why Mr. Giggles has told me That's why he goes for the deboost. Because basically, failing it and doing the backup is just as fast as what he was doing before. Another thing that happens sometimes is you might miss your actual deboost. In that case, generally what I do is just kind of a series of gap skips and shots, like that, and then getting across. That also will result in a time that's almost as good as the alternative strat, or just as good. So yeah, wall jump check the door, and you'll come out on this side facing right. The climb has two main strats. The one that I do is the wall jump strat, so I count 1, 2, 3 jumps, 3 wall jumps, land on this, aim up and shoot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, land on this, aim up and shoot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Your third wall jump should be above this square on the wall right here. So that should be your third wall jump. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, there's a square right here to use as a cue to make sure you're in the right spot when you're doing that last wall jump. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, square, 1 square. So that's a 2. You want to do 2 wall jumps right here. 1, 2. There's another square on the wall to use as a cue. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, square, 1 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the fastest strat here is if you, after 5 wall jumps up here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you come to the left and you land on this platform. And then there's a couple things that you can do here. You can do a ledge grab, followed by, I think it's a wall jump, like that. And up, like that. Or you can do a wall jump off of this middle platform. You'll need to turn around quickly after wall jumping so that you don't bonk. It's not that tight, but if you're not quick enough turning left, then you will bonk your head on this. You want to do an up grab onto this platform and then shoot, and Sam's shot will go up and hit the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wall jump, shoot. You want to do another wall jump off of this. Do a ledge grab right here. And then what most people do is they'll just jump through the door. We'll get to this in just a minute. An alternative for the wall jumping strat, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, is to, instead of doing 5, so normally it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you jump right here, right? Instead of doing 5, you can do another 3 and then shoot up from this platform and follow the shot up. You gotta be kind of fast. You want to follow the shot up, and it will hit this pirate that's right here. I already killed him in this particular instance. They'll hit the pirate right there, and you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and land on this platform, this little one here on the right, and then shoot the door open and jump through. I haven't mained this strat in years, but I'll show kind of what it looks like. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of like that. Okay? Alright, the other thing that you can do, and I forget how this starts, I think it's like that. You can do ledge grabs, okay? I am not good at these ledge grabs. I've never been good at them, and I'm not the person to ask for a tutorial on them. But basically, the way that it works is you can do ledge grabs up the whole middle. So, something like this. But I don't remember exactly. That's the strat that Behemoth uses. So you can go watch Behemoth or a handful of other runners who can certainly do a better job of explaining the ledge grab climb than I can. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not an expert on that version of the climb, so I'm not going to pretend to be. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Alright. So we've landed here now, right? There's a couple things you can do. You can... This is most common for people to do. They'll jump through the door, and then they'll either attempt to do a wall jump off of this platform right here. It can be kind of finicky and annoying, but you can get good at it and use it. Or another thing that a lot of people will do is after coming through the door, they'll just wait to land. So they land and then they'll jump up. I like to do a wall jump off of this wall right here. I have tested this out, and when I tested it, it seemed like it was frame perfect to do the wall jump. But in my experience doing it in runs, I swear that there have been times where I was not wall jumping frame perfectly and it would still work. So I don't know for sure. What I do know is you can do it from any vertical position, or nearly any vertical position. But if you get a tight enough wall jump here, you can actually clear this ledge like that, okay? So that way you don't actually need to do the wall jump up here. And it is faster, too, if you pull it off. There are some cues that you can use with how Samus looks in regards to some spots in the background to know whether you got it or not. It's not something that I can easily explain as part of this tutorial, but if you take the time to kind of play around with this, I think you'll be able to figure it out, kind of what works and what doesn't. And you do have enough time after entering the room to make a determination if you think it's going to work or not going to work. And if you think it's not going to work, then basically you haven't really lost hardly any time. You just release jump, land on the door, and then jump up. Left. So you can bonk here and then just jump up, but if you know that it's not going to work, the better thing to do is to just basically you let go of jump, and then you can either do a turn jump, which I'm being really bad at right now for some reason, or you can turn before you land and then jump up. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Alright. So if you happen to do the wall jump, like I said, you can just jump straight up, land on top, do an up grab, shoot the gamer out of the way. If you don't get the setup, like I said, you can land and then do it. Just jump up, do that. Or if you just jumped through the door instead of doing the wall jump through the door, you can do a wall jump off this. And again, try not to do too big of a wall jump, or you're just going to lose time. So you want to do a mini wall jump, and then up grab and shoot the gamer. I'm only going to cover one strat for this room because it's fastest and it's the only one that I have done. So my apologies. It's not really that much harder than what some people consider to be easier, which is going up the left side. I'm just not familiar with left side, so up grab and shoot the Geemer. You can jump first and then shoot. That's totally fine. A down grab here onto this platform is best, but you can also just do a straight jump and land. From this platform, you want to do a spin jump to the right, and ledge grab onto this. Then you want to do another spin jump to the left and ledge grab onto the right side of this platform. You do not need to worry about this Geemer as long as your ledge grab is fast and you immediately jump out of it. Something that Kano actually clued me into. As long as you jump early enough, you will not hit this Geemer. So if you're hitting the Geemer like this, it just means that you are kind of being really loose with your ledge grab and or jumping really late. So if you do a nice tight ledge grab and a quick jump, you'll be just fine. If you really want to, you can stop and shoot the Geemer like this, and then go. Won't lose that much time. Do a wall jump off the left side of this platform, off the right side of this platform, ledge grab right here. Like this. The Ripper will be flying over to the right, which gives you an opportunity to jump up through the gap and do a ledge grab here on the left. Also, I recommend not holding dash through these, because it actually makes it harder to do these jumps correctly if you're holding dash this whole time. Okay. So ledge grab, ledge grab, ledge grab, ledge grab. You want to repress dash once you get up to the top there. One more ledge grab. And again, repress dash, do some arm pumps up the slope, not down, because if you try an arm pump down, there's a good chance that you're going to fall. Of course, Samus is, there we go. Falling is bad. Do a short hop mock ball into the hole. You want to align Samus as a ball with this right here, and then just drop straight down from there. Drop straight down, unmorph as you're about to land, shoot the door, and run through. And that is Parlor, which is honestly one of the hardest rooms in this game. I'm not even exaggerating. Parlor is one of those rooms that never really seems to get easier to do fast. And it's in every single category, so it's definitely worth trying to practice and optimize to the point where you're comfortable with it. Because it makes a big difference in your overall bomb times. You do not want to get hit by one of those projectiles, and as long as you do the setup right here and your positioning right here correctly, you'll be just fine there. This room's really easy. You want to arm pump past the bugs. Once you do pass the bugs, pay attention to the square things in the background. I usually jump right as I'm passing this one. Shoot twice on the way up. And then do an angle down and shoot 3 more times. Like that. And don't worry too much about shooting too early. I'll try and demonstrate this. These missiles are going to hit the door much more forgivingly than you expect them to. You could have sworn that one of those hit the floor, right? Nope. That one did. But yeah, it's honestly, like, you can shoot pretty dang early here. If you wait to jump until you're under this block, it's going to be really hard to miss the door. As long as, like I said, you're shooting twice on the way up, and then you are releasing jump, angling down, and shooting 3 more. Okay? You do want to land far left on this platform if possible, so that you get more run speed going into the next room. Because more run speed means more of that speed while you are airborne going to the bombs. Make sense? Hope that makes sense. Alright, BT. Shoot the bombs as you're landing. Moonwalk until Samus... Sorry. Angle up, moonwalk until Samus's back is aligned with these dots in the wall. And then morph. You should see 1 pixel of black space to the left of Samus before the wall has that blue line in the panel. As long as you're morphed here, BT will automatically jump backwards when the fight starts, and also can never hit you. So that's nice, right? So like I said, it is important that you angle up, because angle down has a different position, a different sprite. See that? So angle up has her back aligned with the dots on the wall, where angle down actually does not. See, there's a gap there. Stationary covers them. Angle up, or aiming up is also covering them. So yeah. Morph. Wait for BT to wake up. When he wakes up, he will automatically jump backwards. So you want to unmorph, shoot him 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aim up. I do 4 more shots. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will get you kind of a good spread of hopefully missile drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, you want to jump and grab some of the missiles, but not all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then you want to shoot BT with 4 missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. After the 4 missiles, he'll do that exploding animation. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to jump on that 4th missile. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you land, you want to shoot him with 3 more. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Not grabbing all the missiles is always a little tough, Hop. The timing of how you space these 4 shots here will really help a lot, though. That's something that I've actually improved at in even the last couple months. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can shoot earlier than you think you can. 1. See, so notice how that was pretty early, but it still ended up hitting some bombs. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, you can kind of space your shots and that will make it more likely that missiles will drop spread out. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why we shoot 5 times and not more, it's because basically BT's head will explode after he gets under 100 HP, if I remember correctly. Let's change the info HUD and the HP. Okay. So he starts with 800. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we do 6, right? Okay, so he's at 160 now. We're going to hit him with another missile, and then his head's going to blow off. That actually takes extra time because he stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. He stops to do that exploding animation, and you lose some time there. So that's why we only shoot him 5 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The last thing I'll say is that after you jump to collect your second round of missiles, you can take a hit if you want, but if you can get confident in kind of repositioning with this line on the wall and avoiding damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the last set of drops that BT does drop will only have missiles because you'll still be at full HP. That makes it easier to make sure that you get all of the missiles that you need on the way out of the room. So if you take damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we took damage. Some of these drops are going to be health. And in this situation, what would happen is we would run, we'd jump, we'd collect this missile, and we'd end up with 4. Sometimes there wouldn't be any missiles in our path, so we'd leave with 2 missiles or 0 missiles, which is not good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Alright, exiting this room, I wait for BT's sprite to disappear. I count to 1. Basically, I do like 1 1000. 1 1000, and then I start running to the left. You want to angle up and shoot. You'll kind of get a feel for when the door will start blinking. Sorry, I was a little early there. And then you want to jump right around here. Alright. Just a few more rooms before we call it for tonight. Arm pump past the bugs. Shoot the door. Do a quick ledge grab. Run through the door. Pretty basic. You want to run to the left and do a ledge grab here. As long as you're fast, you can do another jump up past the Ripper. And do another ledge grab here. Most people will do a left side Alcatraz. This is another one of those things where I'm going to have you refer to my general movement video, but just as a basic, when Samus does a wall jump, as long as you're still holding jump out of that wall jump and then you press down, a single down press will make her morph. That's kind of the key to Alcatraz. I remember when I was first learning Alcatraz, I would my fingers would lock up because I would be thinking that I had to push down twice to make her morph. It's just a single down press, as long as you are still holding jump. If you release jump, she will not morph. She'll just aim down. Also, she'll start falling, so you won't really have the opportunity to get up into the tunnel. As long as you're still holding jump, notice that when she morphs, she continues moving upward, right? So what you want to do for Alcatraz, like I said, most people do left side. They jump kind of near the bottom of this, and then they'll do another jump, another wall jump near the bottom of this one right here, and then they'll do a wall jump off the right side, right here, again kind of near the bottom, and they will do that single down press immediately after the wall jump. I can't even do the left side. So you want to do a down press immediately after the wall jump, which will have Samus do the automorph up into the hole. I opt to do a right side Alcatraz, which is a little bit harder, but theoretically a little bit faster. The way that works, you do a wall jump off the bottom part right here, again off the bottom right here, and then after that it's the same pretty much. 1, 2, 3. The main difference here is that this last one is actually technically a continuous wall jump. See that? So we're not actually turning around. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Once we get out of the hole, there's a couple different things you can do here. What most people will do, and this is actually what I recommend, you run to the left, you do some arm pumps up the slopes, again, like usual. Not down the slopes, up the slopes. You want to do a little jump here, and like I said, most people will do a mock ball, they'll lay a bomb here, and then they'll wait for it to explode and they'll roll through. They unmorph after here, and then they'll run forward and shoot the door, etc. I opt to do a double bomb strat, which is a little bit harder, but for me it's faster on average. Either way, just find what's more comfortable for you to do. The main thing is, basically there's two different strats you can use going into Terminator. So we're going to talk about the first one. You want to bonk the door. So basically you want to make sure that you're shooting late enough that you will bonk the door on your way through. You want to bonk this door. If you bonk, Samus will not have her arm cannon out as she's running, okay? If you do not bonk the door, so say you shoot the door, it opens, and you continue running, notice that her arm cannon is still fully extended, okay? That's how you can tell for sure whether or not you bonked. Should be pretty obvious, but just in case you're unsure. So we bonked. What you want to do, coming out of this door, as long as her arm cannon is not extended, you want to hold shoot during the transition, and then press angle down on this mushroom. This mushroom specifically isn't really that important. The main thing is that you want to make sure that you angle down on flat ground. Bonk, hold shoot, angle down. That will kill all of the gamers automatically. Okay? And the really nice thing, about the door bonk strat and the auto fire is that you're automatically going to kill that first gamer and collect its drop. Oops. And that's good because now we're full on missiles, right? You can do an auto strat with full run speed coming through the door. I forget what the actual setup for it is. Yeah, so if you have full run speed, oops, coming through the door, you want Samus to already have her arm cannon extended, and then you want to hold angle down. That will work. But if I have full run speed coming through this door, what I opt to do instead is the arm pumping strat. You can pump down this slope anywhere you want, except for under the mushrooms. Okay? So do not pump under the mushrooms. Arm pumping down the slope in this room can save 10 frames or so? 15 frames? I'm not sure. You want to shoot this guy, and then you need to time your shots for the next two gamers. I haven't found anything foolproof here, but with enough practice, you can get pretty consistent at it. Okay? But anyway, we're just going to focus on the door bonk strat here. So pump on that mushroom. Once you reach this mushroom right here, you want to shoot a missile once you're passing this little stem on the right side. Okay, so I'll show this. So after you kill the third gamer, switch to missiles. And then you want to shoot your missile, switch off of missiles, shoot again immediately. That P-shot will open the door. Like that. And then basically you just shoot your last missile coming out of the fanfare. You should automatically pick up the drop from the first scree, or the first waver, sorry. But if he happens to not drop a missile for you, you'll just want to wait and collect the missile from this guy. One of them will almost always drop a missile. If they both don't drop missiles for you, then you just got screwed by RNG, and that's ridiculous. It has happened to me before. It's very uncommon. Alright, 100%. Unless you're doing the early power bombs route, which I'm actually not going to cover, we are not concerned about conserving our health. The fastest way through this room, if we're not concerned about conserving our health, is to run down, shoot the pirates with the P-shot, not with a missile, bonk, and run through them. Okay? That saves... Let's see, that's a 734. So let's say that we're not going to shoot them. 756. That saves 20 plus frames. Okay, so make sure you're shooting the pirates. The reason it's faster is because it actually makes their hitbox bigger so that you collide with them earlier. So that you can get... One, you can land earlier on that first pirate, and two, it allows you to get a little bit more run speed earlier to clear the corners. Okay. And that's it for this room. And then in this room, you can just pump as much as you want. Don't worry about pumping on the downward slopes because you're not going to fall. Jump over the Kago, jump over this Kago, shoot, run through the door. Pretty basic. And that is where we will call it for tonight. That's early game every SM category, unless you're me running RBO. So, yeah. Hopefully, you know, if you're watching on stream tonight, I hope this is helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube after I edit it and upload it, I hope it was even more helpful because it will be condensed and not so long with, you know, repeats and drawn out thoughts and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna call it. I need to cut stream and go to bed. So I really appreciate you guys being here tonight. Let's find somebody to raid, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow.